in a construction accident, buried alive in a sewage trench.
Millions of vehicles are being recalled, but what do you do if one of those cars is yours?
And how honest are you or your neighbors? We put some in the Sioux Empire to the test in 5 on your side. Good evening, I'm Sherry Kurtz.
And I'm Ted Koppy. Thanks for joining us tonight. A construction accident in the Hartford area buries a man alive.
Authorities have not released the rural Hartford man's name yet. Rescue crews today were called to the scene shortly before 3 this afternoon after dirt walls of a sewer trench the man was in apparently caved in, burying him under 12 feet of dirt. It took nearly an hour for workers to find the man's body. Rescue workers say it was a tedious and difficult search.
They weren't exactly sure. According to what the people said, is he was down in the hole and the wall started to cave. They weren't exactly sure where along there he was.
The victim's name is being withheld until relatives can be notified. Authorities say an investigation into that accident is underway.
A cookout turns violent in Mitchell after an alleged gang member from Omaha shoots a 12-year-old girl in the chest. Tracy O'Halloran has the story on what happened before and after the shooting.
I just kept looking at her up and down, and that's when I noticed this gunshot up in her chest, and that blood was coming down, and I just totally lost it.
The mother of the 12-year-old girl, who wanted to remain anonymous, is still in shock today after her daughter was shot in the chest inside their Mitchell home. And the alleged gunman, a juvenile, is in custody. That much is certain, but the events that led up to the shooting are not. Apparently, the 16-year-old suspect came to Mitchell with a friend from Omaha. The friend introduced the subject to the shooting victim's family, and a group of them cooked out for dinner.
The report is that the suspect was drinking heavily, was drinking whiskey, and had been belligerent through the night and was armed through the evening.
He was talking all night long how he ain't afraid of nobody. He's in a gang, I guess, up in Omaha, Nebraska. Said that he's not afraid of nobody. He'll shoot anybody.
I was watching him earlier, probably 15, 20 minutes before it happened, and he was just sitting there rubbing the gun. Just sitting there, and he was just looking at everybody rubbing the gun, and then he put it back away in his pocket.
About 9:30 last night, police say the 12-year-old girl was shot once in the upper chest. The alleged suspect then fled the scene on foot and eluded police until this morning.
At 10 o'clock this morning, police received a call from a woman saying she saw the suspect walking in the 900 block of University Avenue. He was apprehended only seconds later here in the 400 block of McCabe Street, unarmed.
Authorities say the suspect has given them an idea of where the gun is located, but it has not yet been found. In Mitchell, Tracy O'Halloran, News 5.
The 16-year-old could face attempted murder and aggravated assault charges. No initial court appearance has been set. The victim, meantime, is in stable condition at Queen of Peace Hospital in Mitchell.
Well, the next step in a Brookings murder case has been delayed. 25-year-old Timothy Doff of Brookings pleaded guilty but mentally ill to second-degree murder charge for stabbing and killing his former girlfriend, Lorna Amiat, last October. Doff was to be sentenced, but Brookings County State's Attorney Clyde Calhoun says defense lawyers are waiting for the results of some psychiatric reports. He says Doff could be sentenced May 28th if Circuit Judge Rodney Steele accepts the plea. Second-degree murder carries a mandatory sentence of life in prison. Well, as News 512 at 10 continues tonight, a Minnesota appeals court has upheld a settlement in a lawsuit over contaminated Schwann's ice cream.
Thousands of people got sick after eating the bacteria-tainted product made at the company's Marshall plant. That led to a class action suit filed on behalf of 13,000 people. Separate lawsuits from Illinois and Maryland challenged the settlement, arguing the amount is too low and the attorney's fees too excessive. But the Minnesota Court of Appeals noted Schwann's advised its customers to see a physician and had offered to pay for the exam. An investigation found the contamination was caused by improper storage of ice cream mix in a tanker truck.
It's being called the largest safety recall in the history of automobiles, and it could affect your vehicle. Ford will be sending out 8.5 million recall notices to customers in 2 weeks. Tonight, Sean Boyd talks with some area dealers who say they're preparing for the rush.
This little device is causing big headaches. Ford Motor Company is conducting the largest auto safety recall in history. Almost 9 million vehicles with a potentially defective ignition switch will be recalled. The problem? The switch could overheat, possibly causing smoke and fire. With such a massive number of customers affected, are dealers concerned about taking care of the problem and keeping owners from blowing a gasket?
I think that Ford is going to do a very good job of stepping up with the customers and getting their dealers prepared to take care of the customers in a timely fashion. I'm confident that we'll be ready.
Right now, Ford and Lincoln Mercury service shops in Sioux Falls are only seeing an average 10 repairs a day. That number will skyrocket after June 1st when official letters are sent out. According to a Ford Service Department official, the problem is easily fixed by installing a new switch.
Each repair takes less than an hour to accomplish, but at $50 apiece, this recall could cost Ford Motor Company millions.
With almost 9 million possible repairs, totals could reach $500 million. Service departments are gearing up by adding additional staff and trying to get owners in before they get their letter from Ford.
They need to get their cars in and get them taken care of and now have some peace of mind that their car's not going to have a fire or anything else happen to it.
In Sioux Falls, Sean Boyd, News 5.
The vehicles in the Ford recall include some models of Escorts, EXPs, Crown Victorias, Grand Marquis, Lincoln Town Cars, and Aerostars. It also includes some models of Broncos, F-Series light trucks, Mustangs, Tempos, Topazes, Thunderbirds, and Cougars. Again, Ford will begin mailing out notices to their customers in about 2 weeks. Well, once those cars are back on the street, their owners may pay less for gas. The U.S. House has voted to temporarily suspend a 4-cent a gallon gas tax increase from 1993. It comes as Energy Department forecasters predict retail gas prices will fall anyway. They say they could drop as much as 6 cents a gallon by the 4th of July.
The long-awaited search of that murky Florida Everglades crater has yielded very little. Drivers say they found only some small pieces of the value jet DC-9, not the big chunks investigators were hoping for. And a mediator in the Freeman standoff has praise for the FBI and harsh words for the anti-government group. Colorado lawmaker Charles Duke says the FBI has tried very hard to find a peaceful solution, and he says most of the Freemen are nothing more than criminals. And on a lighter and weather-related note, what a heck of a day out there today.
It was a great day. Scott Bowden standing by in the Weather Center to tell us if there's more in store.
Not only a great day, but a gorgeous night. If anybody's still sitting inside, get out and enjoy it while it lasts. The next few days aren't looking so nice. Let's go to the almanac and show you where we started out with today. Started out with a temperature of 48 degrees, warmed up to 75. Normals are 72 and 48, so right around normal, actually 3 degrees above normal for the high. Records are 93 and 25. We saw about no precipitation in the last 12 hours. We're still well below normal. Sunrise 5:56. Sunset is at 8:51. Let's take a look at the current temperatures right now. 63 in Aberdeen, 61 in Watertown, 62 in Brookings, 68 right now in Sioux Falls with fair skies. Humidity's at 35%. Calm winds out there, which is good news. Barometer is rising at 29.85. Well, around here, the Sioux Empire and into Minnesota and North Dakota, a big dry day because we're seeing an area of high pressure that's dominating our region. Most of the scattered showers and thunder showers are moving up into eastern Minnesota and into eastern North Dakota, and that's where it's going to stay. Nothing really around here to talk about. We saw some light scattered showers around Pierre and down to the south, as we're seeing a little bit of energy moving down into the South Dakota and Nebraska border, but most of that is moving off. We really have nothing to worry about as far as rainfall tonight, but that's going to change, definitely. This is what the national picture looks like right now. We'll put this into motion. Most of the strong storms are right on the eastern seaboard associated with this front, and there's that tropical low that's dumping a lot of rain down into portions of all of Florida, rather, mostly down by Miami. They're seeing some strong rain right now, but you can see another wave of energy is moving into our region, and that's going to bring in a lot of wet weather for the next 3 to 4 to 5 days. Probably we won't see drying out until about Monday when we all go back to work. That's good news. Here's that low pressure I've been telling you about that's kind of spinning a lot of rain down there. Really not a lot of strong weather, but that is definitely bringing some rain. There's that front that's bringing some rain to the east coast. Around here, nice high and dry because of that high pressure system that's just sticking around our area tonight, but by tomorrow, like I've been saying, things are going to change tonight. You may see some dark clouds out there, but that's really no rainmaker clouds. 51 degrees. By tomorrow, we'll see some thunder showers, 74 degrees. We have a lot more to talk about, but let's continue News 5 12 at 10 with Ted, Sherry, and John.
Thanks, Scott.
And NBA playoffs net a top spot in tonight's sport.
Continuing tonight in the Eastern Conference Final with the Bulls wanting to take a 2-0 lead with Horace Grant riding the pine. Shaquille O'Neal have to pick up his game a little bit in Game 2. Otherwise, they will be down 2-0. There's Michael receiving his MVP award for this season. And Shaq did pick it up early on. There's the slam down the Boulevard as the Magic jump out to an 11-7 lead. Once again, Shaq again, 30-20 Magic. We're still in the second, but here come the Bulls and Michael Jordan. Jordan, 17 points in the third quarter. Here's just a few of them right there as the Bulls lower their horns and come roaring back from an 18-point deficit right now. This game with about 10-15 seconds left in it. Chicago out in front, 90-83. Bulls looking to take a 2-0 lead before the series switches back down south to Florida coming up this weekend. Horace Grant says he will return on Saturday for Game 3.
That's good for the Magic.
Good for the Magic. They will need him. Actually, they looked really good tonight, but just fell apart in the second half.
So it goes.
So it goes.
Thanks, John. Making room for a shopping center parking lot in the historic district of Sioux Falls ended up being a tight squeeze.
Residents in the 1100 block of East 8th Street are angry after a house was moved there. Now, they're not mad the house is gone, but that the structure, which was 35 feet wide, was taken down Summit Avenue, which is only 38 feet wide. As a result, a large number of tree branches had to be cut to make room for that house. Some say Prairie Avenue would have been a better choice for the move. Mayor Gary Hansen has directed the traffic engineer to determine the best route before moving another house.
When News 5 at 10 continues, as the saying goes, honesty is the best policy, but exactly how honest is society today? We find out tonight in 5 on Your Side.
A group of budding young authors become educators in the classroom for the afternoon.
And it's considered a sacred symbol to many American Indians, but tonight there are signs of illness. More on that story next on News 5.
News 5 weather is brought to you by Franklin Motor Company, the area's largest independent automobile dealer.
When you're shopping for a car, you deserve a choice. At Franklin Motor Company, you can choose from over 3...
Receive a phone call, and no one has tried to return the wallet. Now, if you have a consumer story idea or have been the victim of a scam, you can call our News 5 consumer hotline at 361-5555, extension 43, or toll-free, you can call 1-800-727-5358 or KDLT.
Well, we hope you got out and enjoyed today's nice spring-like weather, because weather forecaster Scott Bowden says it's going to change.
But nothing like the ironic change of weather this drive-in movie theater got caught in. It's a strange twist of events coming up when News 5 at 10 continues. That's pretty incredible.
Gives a whole new meaning.
Ridge Indian Reservation.
She wanted to be a good wife and have a family and have a life.